There are moments in life when someone steps into your world and everything in you pauses. Something about them feels familiar, exciting, comforting, or even spiritually significant. You start wondering if maybe this person is an answer to prayer, a blessing you've been waiting on, or a relationship God Himself is orchestrating. But deep down, there's a quiet tension you can't shake. Something feels slightly off. Something in your spirit hesitates. Something doesn't settle, no matter how hard you try to convince yourself it should. And if you've ever been in that place, you're not alone. Countless people have mistaken connection for confirmation, and chemistry for calling. Sometimes the enemy doesn't distract you with something obviously destructive. Sometimes he distracts you with something that looks almost right, almost God-sent, almost aligned, almost perfect, but not quite. The Bible isn't silent about this. Think about Samson for a moment. He didn't fall because of an obvious enemy. He fell because of a woman he thought he could trust. He believed she was for him, but in reality she was slowly pulling him away from the very purpose God placed inside him. And Samson couldn't see it at first. Infatuation blinded him. Desire clouded him. Emotion distorted his discernment. It wasn't until he was weaker, wounded, and surrounded that he finally understood she was never sent by God. She was sent to drain the strength God had given him. And that's how it works sometimes. The wrong person doesn't always show up as a threat. They show up as a distraction. They appear in seasons of loneliness, vulnerability, and waiting. They present themselves in ways that feel comforting, but slowly pull you out of alignment with who you're called to be. They speak softly, but the consequences of keeping them in your life grow louder and heavier with time. You might be in that season right now, trying to figure out if the person standing in front of you is a blessing or a burden, a divine connection or a spiritual detour. And if your heart has been wrestling, pay attention. That wrestling is often God's first warning. One of the most subtle signs that she was never sent by God is confusion. Not the normal kind that comes with human relationships, but the kind that unsettles your peace. The kind that keeps you second-guessing yourself, questioning your worth, and doubting what God already told you. God is not the author of confusion, so whenever confusion becomes the foundation of a relationship, it's often a sign that God didn't build it. She may speak affectionately, she may act lovingly, but if your spirit is consistently restless, something deeper is happening. Another sign is that your purpose begins to fade around her. When someone is truly sent by God, your purpose becomes sharper, your calling becomes clearer, your character becomes stronger. But when someone is not sent by God, distraction replaces focus, compromise replaces conviction. You begin lowering standards you once guarded passionately. You find yourself slipping spiritually without realizing it, because emotional attachment is slowly pulling you away from spiritual alignment. Look at Solomon. The wisest man in the world didn't fall because of a lack of knowledge. He fell because he connected with women whose hearts were not aligned with his God, and the Bible says they turned his heart away. Not suddenly, not aggressively, slowly, quietly, little by little. That's what the wrong person does. They don't always tear you away from God dramatically. They gently nudge your heart in another direction until one day you wake up and realize you've drifted further than you ever intended. Another sign she wasn't sent by God is that your relationship with Him becomes harder. Prayer becomes inconsistent. Worship feels distant. Discernment feels foggy. Not because God moved away, but because her presence is crowding out your sensitivity to His whisper. You start leaning on emotion instead of revelation. You start seeking validation instead of transformation. You start pursuing connection more than you pursue God. And your spirit knows it. Your spirit always knows when something or someone has started taking a place they were never meant to fill. Then there are the subtle compromises that creep in. The boundaries you once protected begin to weaken. The morals you once stood by become negotiable. The temptations you used to flee from no longer feel urgent. And maybe you can feel it happening. You can sense the shift. You can tell something in you is changing, and not for the better. But you keep giving more chances because part of you hopes that maybe she will grow into the person you imagined. But hope cannot turn the wrong person into the right one. And here's the painful truth. Sometimes the clearest sign she wasn't sent by God is that she distracts you from the person you are becoming. You feel a version of yourself shrinking just to keep her close. You silence your voice to keep the peace. You hide your calling to avoid conflict. You dim your light so she won't feel threatened by it. You lose yourself trying to keep someone God never assigned to your life in the first place. Think about Adam for a moment. His first mistake wasn't eating the fruit. It was listening to a voice that wasn't God's. A voice that sounded close, familiar, and comforting, but not aligned with truth. The wrong voice can sabotage the right destiny. And sometimes it's not what she does that hurts you the most. It's what she causes you to do to yourself. Another sign is that God keeps trying to get your attention. Not through lightning or loud warnings, but through subtle conviction. through moments when your heart feels heavy after spending time with her, through situations that expose the misalignment, through red flags you keep choosing to ignore, through patterns that repeat themselves again and again. God always warns before he withdraws his peace, and if he keeps nudging your spirit, it's because he sees something you don't see yet. And then there's the sign most people overlook. She pulls you toward her, but she never pushes you toward God. She may support you emotionally, but she doesn't strengthen you spiritually. She may encourage your dreams, but she doesn't challenge your character. She may enjoy your presence, but she doesn't honor your purpose. Her influence feels good to your emotions, but heavy on your spirit. She entertains you, but she doesn't edify you. She compliments you. She compliments you, but she doesn't cover you. And the Bible is clear. Two cannot walk together unless they agree. Agreement isn't about liking the same things. It's about heading in the same spiritual direction. There is another sign, one that often breaks people the most. When God didn't send her, you will notice that everything in the relationship requires you to force it. You force communication. You force peace. You force connection. You force clarity. You force commitment. You carry all the emotional weight, all the spiritual responsibility, all the relational pressure. And the more you force it, the more drained you become. Anything God sends comes with grace. Anything the enemy sends comes with exhaustion. Think of Jonah. When he boarded the wrong ship, the storm didn't hit because the ship was evil. The storm hit because Jonah wasn't supposed to be there. Sometimes chaos enters your life, not because she is a bad person, but because she is not your assignment. And the relationship becomes turbulent, simply because you stepped into something God never ordained. And here's something your heart needs to hear. When God did not send her, the relationship will cost you more than it gives. It will drain your peace, your joy, your clarity, and your spiritual momentum. You will start losing pieces of yourself, trying to hold on to someone who was never equipped to walk with you into your future. Love should refine you, not reduce you. Connection should strengthen you, not weaken you. Partnership should protect you, not expose you. Sometimes the most spiritual thing you can do is admit the truth your heart has been avoiding. She wasn't sent to heal you. She wasn't sent to help you. She wasn't sent to build you. She wasn't sent to walk with you. She wasn't sent to cover you. And the hardest truth of all, she wasn't sent by God. But that doesn't mean God is punishing you. It means he is protecting you. It means he sees what you can't see yet. It means he is safeguarding your future. It means he is preparing something better, purer, safer, and more aligned. Something that won't drain you, confuse you, or weaken you. Something that will sharpen your spirit, strengthen your walk, and partner with your purpose. And maybe the reason God is bringing this message into your life today is because he knows how long you've been wrestling with this decision. He knows how deeply you've tried to make this work. He knows the tears you've cried trying to hold on to someone who keeps slipping away. He knows you've been asking for a sign, for clarity, for direction, and he is answering you gently. Let go of who I didn't send, so I can bring who I did. When God sends someone, your spirit will know, your peace will confirm it, your purpose will grow with it, your relationship with him will deepen because of it. You won't have to force it, question it, chase it, or lose yourself to keep it. You won't feel drained trying to love them. You will feel strengthened walking beside them. So as you listen to this message, pay attention to what your heart is feeling. Pay attention to what your spirit is revealing. Sometimes God speaks not through thunder, but through truth you already knew deep inside. And maybe, just maybe, this is the confirmation you've been afraid to face. If this message spoke to your heart today, don't keep it to yourself. Someone else may be wrestling with the same confusion, the same relationship, the same spiritual tension. Share this video, type your thoughts or testimony in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more messages just like this. God sees you, God guides you, and he will never let the wrong person destroy the right destiny.